I wanted in that paragraph to have it specified that on each of the work orders there be a set not to exceed cost to the owner being the city. And Mr. Turk was okay with that. Take a little wordsmithing to get that in that paragraph. At page 5, at paragraph L, I wanted to strike the word in writing because I think the engineers are fully responsible for the requirements for safety programs without having to have them being advised in writing by the city, since it's the engineer that has the responsibility there. With those two changes on that, I would recommend approval of the base contract, which you would not have to implement. Now, having said that, I recommend that you proceed forward with the recommendation tonight. However, I have this caveat or this concern, and that is Mr. Turk is quite sanguine and quite confident that there's adequate water capacity with just building the one tank and then repairing the second tank. And that's contemplated in the master plan as it came in about 18 months ago, a couple years ago. And the only request I have of the council is, or recommendation to the council is that you get that recommendation and that finding concerning that pressure plane and the adequacy of the service that you're going to have, which is 80,000 tanks, that you get that recommendation in writing based on your current and projected land use. You're doing this in your sewer planning, and you're getting this in your sewer planning from your other engineering firm, and I think it's appropriate. Now, when I'm talking about pressure plane, I'm talking about that area that topographically would be served by the two tanks. And the only reason for asking for it in writing is I think it's appropriate when you spend public money to have the professional engineer seal the document, seal the recommendation so that you all know that you have a document that's accountable and reliable and proper to rely upon. So with those two caveats in mind, I recommend the revision to the base document and it be signed by the manager or the mayor and the council as you may choose, and that subsequently you get your recommendation and then you issue your work order. That takes care of both items, and I think that addresses everything, doesn't it, Mr. Terry? Madam Manager?
Yes, it addresses everything. The uniqueness of this is that our master plan has been worked off of, this is the engineering that designed it, so it's in line with what you all had planned years ago. We want to make sure that we keep it going and to maybe come to fruition of what the master plan actually recommends.
And I'm concerned in getting...
Earlier that the size of that tank will be at capacity for expansion that's growing in that area?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's the caveat I want you to get it
Should
right.
we be building something 80,000 or should we be looking at something bigger so we don't have to face that same expense when all that expansion goes, because it is growing? I don't know how much it can provide. I'm not a specialist on that, I'm sorry.
I think that should just be in the proposal for the work that comes from Mr. Turk.
If we do the study that he is suggesting, we will answer that question definitively.
Sure.
Okay.
I do know from the master plan work we did that there was plenty of storage in the city. And we'll have to put a microscope on that particular service area to make sure that the 160,000 gallons is enough. I think it is, but...
Your study will tell us for sure.
Yes.
And with those caveats, I recommend that you take these one at an item. The first item would be to approve the basic task order authorization, which is your item F with the changes I recommended. Yes, sir. And take that up by itself. That's a separate motion, please. And that would be to include the changes I suggested to you, and then they'd be brought back to for signature if you secretary to sign it, or if you want the manager to sign it, whoever you want to approve it, Mr. Turk and I will agree on, get the terms to you
Go ahead and approve 3F as written, and then
with those changes.
3F with the changes. Okay. And 3E as is?
The work order item, I'm sorry, it's 3E with the changes, and then the,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
yeah, I'm sorry, I misheard you. 3E with the changes, as stated.
Can you tell me the page number those changes were on, so I can highlight, so if I'm gonna sign them, I'm
yes,
gonna
ma'am.
do it.
Let me take another run at it here real quick. The changes appear on page 4, 601, 6.01C, and that's the provision dealing with cost to be specified not to exceed on each of your work orders.
You're talking about 601C?
Sub 601, it's on page 4, 601, sub C.
It says consultants.
Where it says consultants, yes. That requires some rework, Mr. Turk and I agree to. And then the next change is on page 5 at item L,
Okay.
striking the last 2 words. So with those 2 recommendations and a motion, I believe we could act on that one, and I believe there is a motion by Councilman Rodriguez.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the M&S professional service agreement with changes as stated.
I'll second.
Okay, so we're doing the 2 in 1, right?
No, just the one.
Just.
So the record's clear that we're,
Okay, so you're doing 3. Okay.
3E.
I have a motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilman Guerrero. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Now to item the F.
item F,
Which is written which is as is.
as is task order, and that task order would include the report to you about the capacity issue as part of that task order. Am I stating that sufficiently specific? Good. And so that report would come to you, as I'm visualizing it, as a report regarding the size. And then once he comes in with that size and his design and so forth, then you'd obviously advertise. And at a later date, based on your advertisement, you'd actually have construction contracts to come back and review. But for tonight, you're just approving it as a statement.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Highway 181 closet tank task order for water tank replacement with M&S Engineering, including with the report regarding specifications.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Rodriguez, second by Councilman Morones. All in favor? All opposed?